And hello everybody, welcome back to the old channel guys. As always, hit the old like button, subscribe for daily Liverpool content, and of course this is our daily briefing, our daily live show where we discuss all the latest news from Liverpool from the last 24 hours. And yeah, today's quite a busy one guys. We are going to be I'll go through the running order. We're obviously going to be going through the match yesterday. We're going to be just gloating a little bit as we're top of the Premier League once again. We're providing you with a little bit of an injury update. We're going to take a little look ahead. What's also the main story of today, guys. Big Ruben Amorim to Liverpool news, as has been a few updates emerge from Portuguese sources and of course our man Fabrizio Romano as well. So guys, as always, hit the like button. Let's go for 300 likes. If you're watching this on a replay, do get involved in the comment section, and if you're watching this live, let's start the conversation. So what do you guys think? Are Liverpool going to be winning the Premier League this season? Get involved in the poll and let me know your thoughts and why Liverpool will or will not win the league this season down there in the comment section below. Well, guys, it's Monday morning. And look at the league table. Look at that beautiful league table with 9 games to go. Liverpool currently sitting at the top of it with 67 points. Arsenal in second on 65. And then Manchester City in third on 64. So absolutely buzzing, as many of you guys will be as well. Of course, our game against Brighton was an interesting watch, a fantastic game in the end, and of course ended up winning the game 2-1. And then of course the weekend got even better, as following that Manchester City and Arsenal drew the game, which is what we wanted, wasn't it, Reds? We wanted a draw in that game. So yeah, let's discuss a little bit about the match. Just give me a second. Let's try and guess this up. Yeah, so of course, as always, and in Liverpool fashion, we conceded first. And actually, we are the comeback kings this season. And this always shows like a bit of a mentality of what title winners can go on and do, that they find a knack of coming back at all times, and Liverpool did that once again. For some weird reason, if you are a betting man, you should always bet on a team to score on the second minute against us. It's always within that 1, 2, or the third minute that we always concede the goal, and yesterday was no different, as Danny Welbeck, of course, found the opening goal for the Seagulls and put us on the back foot ever so slightly. And now a lot of you guys may have been a bit nervous, or maybe not, just because we have a good track record of coming back, but of course we haven't won at Anfield against Brighton since 2021, which was actually, funnily enough, the year we went on to win the league title. So yeah, they have been a bit of a bogey team, a bit of a thorn in our side. So I do appreciate that being a very, very, very big victory for the Reds. Of course, following that goal conceded, I did think that some of our players were a bit mismatchy. General Konsagi just kept getting done by one of the Brighton forwards all of the time. But as the game kind of went on a little bit, we got control within the middle of the park. Luis Diaz gets our equaliser. And from there, really, I could only see one team winning the clash. Of course, good to see Mr. Diaz get another goal. And he looks like he is starting to get back to his best again. He's starting to show what we sort of seen 2 seasons ago when he came into the team. Of course, had that injury, a big setback for him, and of course he's had personal situation with regards to his father being kidnapped. So there's been a lot on Luis Diaz, but just over the last few games, I'm really starting to see the best of him taking on players. Again, against Manchester City, sending them players for the hot dogs, literally running rings around him. Just needs to try and sharpen up or make his shooting a bit more crisper and that finishing product, and we're going to have a great Luis Diaz, but great to see him get the equaliser. And then of course big man Mo Salah is the man who of course gets the winning goal. And to be fair, Mo Salah probably could have had a hat-trick if we're being perfectly honest, but again, it's fantastic to see. He also managed to equal yet another incredible new record. It always seems every single week that Mo Salah scores, he does get a new record. And Mo Salah managed to made it 16 goals for the Premier League season with his winner versus Brighton, equaling a feat only managed by Alan Shearer and Thierry Henry. Yes, most Premier League seasons with 25 plus goal contributions. Mo Salah 7, Thierry Henry 7, Alan Shearer 7, but Mo Salah is most certainly not out. So really in good company there. And of course, managing to get the winning goal for us, which is super, super important. Guys, for those of you piling into the live chat, what do you guys think? Alan Pugh says we think we've got a really good chance. Good to see you, Teddy. Hope you're well. Adam Reynolds says 100% we're going to win the title. Just got to keep winning, says Gen LFC. Greg says it's always nice to be winning games. We're not really playing out our best. Richard Groom says hi from New Zealand. Good to see you, my man. When will Jota be back? We need his clinical finishing for the run-in. Hopefully soon. It's mad that we still got 4 players to come back. We are going to do a little bit of an injury update in a minute, but remember the players that are currently out at this moment in time and are going to be coming back very soon are Diego Jota, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Alisson Becker and Curtis Jones. But before we do touch upon those ones, I want to speak about the game as well. Of course, whilst we got the win, we spoke a bit about it. There was a lot of key players. McAllister was absolutely amazing once again. I thought Szoboszlai was boss again in the middle of the park. And Jarell Quansara just gave him a bit of criticism, but as the game wore on, I thought he was fantastic as well defensively. And to be fair, we probably should have won more comfortably if it wasn't for Brighton's goalkeeper right at the end denying that one with a really, really good save from him. So as well, the last 20 minutes, despite us being in the lead, you'd think other teams would probably shut up shop a little bit. But it was literally like a high-stakes basketball match that last 20 minutes and was, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. An interesting match, but just good to see that we still went hammer and tong looking for another goal. But it didn't matter. We still won the game and got all 3 points. And as stated, the cherry on top of that was, of course, the game between Arsenal and Manchester City. I went 1-1. That was my score prediction. I made a little friendly bet in a bar with a friend. Manchester City's a fan. Never really met them much, but here I'm in Bali at the moment, so you probably do see a lot that support Manchester City. But listen, a draw, buzzing. It was a crap game in terms of boring, wasn't really entertaining, but I really don't care. It was a point apiece, and puts the title back firmly in our hands. And a little look ahead of what we've got next. Of course, we're going up against obviously this is what the table looks like following that, but then following that, of course, we have got 2 seconds. Next fixture, look ahead, is to Sheffield United. A game against Sheffield United at home. You would expect us to go on and beat Sheffield United at the form that they're in at this moment in time. I don't really see anyone else. The big one there, of course, against Manchester United at Old Trafford. If you've seen their performance this weekend, they were very, very poor, and there's no chance we could lose twice to them, hoping to God, at Old Trafford in a row. So hopefully we bring our A game to that one. Then, of course, a little bit of a break, then we go to the Europa League. But looking at those fixtures, you do expect Liverpool to get 3 points in all of them. I know Manchester United is a bit of a stumbling block, but we've got to beat them. We've got to beat them this time. And then, of course, the Merseyside derby is always something. A derby game, kind of form goes out of the window a little bit. There's a bit more intense, and Everton will obviously be trying to do their best to stop us from winning. But again, you'd back us if we turn up. We'll go on and win that game also. But take it a game at a time. And the next one for us, guys, is Sheffield United. Sorry if those times are really throwing you off. I'm in Indonesian time, so that's why it's showing up as like 3 in the mornings and 2 in the mornings and that kind of stuff. So that's our games, of course. But yeah, just keep on winning. Just keep on winning, Liverpool, and keep this smile firmly on my face. Now, as stated, guys, there was a bit of a injury update with regards to a couple of players. Trent Alexander-Arnold spoke and basically stated that he'll be back in a couple of weeks. He was doing that sort of Sky Sports interview before it, talking about the sort of final dance. And as stated, he said to himself that, of course, after aggravating his existing knee injury, he said it's going well in terms of recovery. He said, I'm finally in the stages and I'm just excited to get back out there. It's hard watching and not being a part of it. It's not one of the longest injuries of my career so far. It gives you that hunger to get back out there and perform. I think a couple of weeks and I'll be back. If everything keeps going well, then there is no more setbacks. So that would be very, very good to see. So 2 weeks would, of course, rule Alexander out for at least 3 more games. That including, of course, the game against Manchester United. But with a visit of Crystal Palace landing on April 14th, he could play a bit of a role in that game going forward. So here's hoping. it goes well for him. And as I said, hopefully he's back in time, as he'll be an added boost. Of course, Diego Jota. Ibrahima Konate was on the bench again, guys. A little bit confusion with regards to him, but he's obviously ready to go at some point as well to make an impact. And then Curtis Jones is not too far away. And then, of course, we've got Jota as well to come back. And then big Alisson Becker as well, which is almost timely and added boost for us going forward. So, yeah. We've crossed off, if you like, the match, the other results in the Premier League. I'm not really looking towards the bottom end of the table, just that sort of freeway title race. But who do you think's our greatest title challenge this season? Have any of you guys shifted and said more Arsenal now? Now that Manchester City are 3 points behind, do you think they are the sort of direct rivals towards our title ambitions? Or do you still stay affirmed that it is Manchester City is the main team to worry about? As I said, it's very, very tight, but it is in our hand. We don't have to worry about results going our way at this moment in time. We haven't got to rely on another team taking points off anybody else. We've got a bit of space with regards to Manchester City, but of course, with Arsenal, we need to be relentless and we can't be having that mentality. And there's no way Jurgen Klopp would allow his players to have that mentality going forward. So I think we're in safe hands with regards to it. Now, whilst I don't want to keep taking the topic of discussion, we're in a great place. It's not all the time that you're in a title. Well, for Liverpool fans, maybe, yes. We are in a title race quite a lot. But I don't like to always look beyond. It still kind of upsets me that, of course, Jurgen Klopp will be leaving at the end of the campaign. And yeah, I'm primarily wanting to just focus as a supporter on, of course, this current moment in time and watching this team go on and lift as many trophies as we possibly can before the end of the season. That, of course, being the Europa League and the Premier League. But obviously, there is an obvious elephant in the room. Over the international break, things were starting to happen with regards to the assemblance of our backroom team going into next season. Obviously, Michael Edwards officially being appointed, Richard Hughes coming in the director of football role, chief scouts and all these kind of things coming in as well. And the kind of missing piece at this moment in time is, of course, our manager, who our next manager is going to be. And of course, since the news last week, Ruben Amorim has shot up the charts to be the next potential manager. Now, a lot of you guys have bedded in now, and that's probably okay. As stated, I'm starting to get excited. And if any of you guys have a bit of doubt with regards to what he's all about, check our pinned message there at the top, in the top of the live chat. It's our sister channel, where it's a bit more deep dive. This LFC News is just news based, whereas this is more documentary based, where we're going deep into Liverpool players. We go into sort of potential for the future, and we did a big one on Ruben Amorim. At the time we're recording this now, it's got nearly 200,000 views, guys. A lot of views. Has about nearly 10,000 subscribers to the channel, so do check it out. We did a massive deep dive into him, and if you like your tactics and analysts of games and stuff like that, we've got one coming out within the next hour with regards to the analysis of yesterday's game. So do check that channel out. Of course, it's in the pinned comment of the live chat. And obviously that will probably make you feel a little bit better about Ruben Amorim, and I certainly do think he will be is the best option currently out there to take over the reins at Liverpool. Now, there's been updates, of course, with regards to the situation. Fabrizio Romano's came out and said something, but I want to start, of course, with what a source has said out in Portugal, and then we'll get to what Fabrizio Romano has said with regards to Ruben Amorim and other potential managerial candidates. So, starting, of course, with the news that broke yesterday. Sources close to Ruben Amorim believe he will accept Liverpool's offer. This is what comes from Portugal. The 39-year-old is aware that he is the main candidate at this moment in time, but does want to win the double with Sporting before deciding his future. Like, it's no easy feat when you're kind of going in for a manager, as the saying with Xabi Alonso, and it's going to be very, very quiet with regards to it. And I don't think Ruben, of course, will be appointed before then, but Liverpool, of course, get a bit of information if Ruben wants to take the job. And as stated, sources in Portugal have updated and say that sources close to Ruben Amorim believe he will accept Liverpool's offer. Like, I have no doubt about that. I do think I said that about Alonso, so don't necessarily quote me on that one. But this time, I do think we'll get Ruben Amorim. I think he will be the next appointment. Now, following this, of course, Fabrizio Romano today, literally fresh off his lips this morning, has provided an update as well with regards to the managerial situation. So first and foremost, he said about Simone Inzaghi, and basically said another name for the Liverpool job coming up is Simone Inzaghi. However, I am not aware of anything concrete so far because Inzaghi is fully focused on Inter Milan. I understand it's also that Inter will offer him a new deal in the upcoming weeks. So there has been a bit of talk with regard to Simone Inzaghi as a potential manager that's on our shortlist. However, Fabrizio Romano is stating, yes, he's there, but it doesn't look like he will become or even be interviewed for the job. Now, following this, he's also came out and spoke about De Zerbi. He said, despite the links with De Zerbi as Klopp's successor, I am told that Ruben Amorim is now favourite for Liverpool. De Zerbi has been on the list for Liverpool for some time as well, but there's no development on that one so far. And it does seem as though Ruben Amorim will be the man to take over come the end of the campaign. So that's a little update there from Fabrizio, but it's also an update there also from sources out in Portugal. They're stating, of course, that sources close to him do believe he will be taking over the hot seat and will be accepting the offer. Of course, he did break his silence after Sporting's win on Friday, and is aware, of course, of the interest or is aware of the speculation surrounding his future, but did also state that he kind of gave us that cliche answer that any player that's involved in a transfer or any manager that's involved in a transfer that's at a current club always gives and just goes, I'm at this club at this moment in time, I'm only focusing on this club, etc, etc, etc. But I do think work will be done behind the scenes, and I think Liverpool, as you could see there with the Alonso situation, they will be having those negotiations, they will be having feeler talks that we're not aware of just to feel that they have the idea, because they would have had to wait to April, May for Alonso if they were just hanging their hat on him. So they obviously were aware prior to the news breaking from Alonso that, of course, he wasn't interested and he was going to be staying at Bayer Leverkusen. So the same will be with Ruben Amorim. They will probably have that situation mapped out. And if he's going to be someone that can take over, then, of course, that will be done on that side. But just a question for the live chat troops. Is Ruben Amorim your favourite candidate? Again, I still seem it's like almost the 75%. I still feel fans are stating 75% yes, people have come on to the idea of Ruben Amorim, of course, taking over at Liverpool at the end of the campaign. But some fans still hold reservations. Some fans, I don't think, know a lot about him, haven't done the homework just yet. And I'm not going to say I'm a Portuguese football expert, but obviously I did the deep dive and stuff like that, looked into him, and he is a very, very good fit for Liverpool. But I'm just interested to see, on your guys' behalf, do you think he should be the Liverpool manager? I'm more interested to hear the ones that don't feel he should be the Liverpool manager, and who would you go for? Obviously, Pep Linders is not a candidate. He's going to be going. Of course, Xabi Alonso won't be getting the job, but who would you like? Obviously, there's not a lot of candidates out there at this moment in time. You can talk about De Zerbi, you can talk about Inzaghi, you can talk about Zinedine Zidane potentially. You could also talk about other people in jobs. But really, in terms of managers, it's very, very scarce at this moment in time. Thomas Tuchel's not a name that's been rumoured. Of course, was successful with Chelsea, but again, not someone that's come to the forefront of our shortlist. So I don't think he's definitely in the running at this moment in time. But when people say De Zerbi, I just don't think De Zerbi would ever fit for FSG. He's too fiery, he's way too... He comes out, speaks a lot too much, he talks and rubbishes his kind of board, demands things in public, and when you've got kind of FSG as your owners, I don't think they want those kind of outspoken characters demanding things. You look at how Jurgen Klopp's operated in the way that he goes about things at Liverpool. He'll never ever put the owners under the bus or talk about money. They want someone, not a yes man of such, but they don't want someone, running their mouth within the media and all those kind of things. I've also seen another one where people are, again, look, it's only Twitter talk, it's just fan talk, social media talk, and of course he's not in the running, nor is he on the shortlist. So I'm just going to say that now. But some fans have been talking about Jose Mourinho, and I just wanted to get an idea of all of you guys. Look, I don't want him personally, but I would just wanted to know: would you look at Jose Mourinho? Would he be a potential managerial candidate? For me, no, absolutely not. But I'm just interested to hear other people's thoughts on whether they think Jose Mourinho would be a good candidate for the Liverpool job. Just a bit of a joke, but just a bit of a conversation starter. Anyway, let me know down there in the live chat. Xabi was our fan's choice. I wish him well and no hard feelings. However, we do need to get this sorted soon, says Gen LFC. Well, the situation, to be honest with you, Jen, is that it's a hard one because all the good managers currently, whether that was a Xabi Alonso, whether that was Ruben Amorim, are in job. So it is quite hard to get things finalised as such and say that he's coming, he's not coming, he's coming or what. You've kind of got to respect it, and the fact that both of them, because they're doing well for their club teams, Ruben's currently in a title race. He could potentially be going for a double at this moment in time. So you have to have respect for the club. You've got to respect Sporting. You've got to respect him as well. Because imagine, Liverpool don't really have that situation where managers getting headhunted as such, because we're kind of the top of the pile. The only way you could probably go up, I suppose, is Real Madrid. Not to say they're a better club, but just, players, managers, they're the only kind of clubs we lose our best players or lose a best manager to. We would never lose, we never lost Jurgen Klopp, but that's the only club that can kind of snag a player off you. Barcelona, Real Madrid, those kind of things. So you've got to respect it, like Sporting. They're probably used to a lot of their players going. They're used to their managers going to be goings as well. If they do well, that's just kind of the pecking order of football, if you like, the food chain of football, if you like. So yeah, you got to respect it. And if he's going to be taking over, you would love him to come off the back of a League and Cup double out in Portugal, because it would bode well for us. Just as a joke question there, too much baggage with Jose, says Alan. Yeah, of course. I would never take him for that, and I don't think FSG would ever take him just because he is crazy. And he's a 2-year manager, and he's 2-3 years, and he just chucks out, doesn't he? He goes. Mourinho is a tactical dinosaur now, says Scallywag. Greg says no to Mourinho. Alan says no, not him for Liverpool. Liverpool must forget about Xabi Alonso as a Liverpool diehard supporter. I think Ruben Amorim is the right manager to take over at Klopp, says Satish Samaro. I think so. I'm on board with it, definitely. I'm definitely on board with Ruben at this moment in time. Scallywag says FSG wouldn't touch Mourinho with a barge pole. He's upset our entire squad. Mourinho's personality is too acidic. Mourinho offers obsolete tactics, boring football, too much attention and massive ego. Also doesn't give youngsters a chance. Completely wrong fit. No, 1,000%. No, it was just look. He's not linked. He's not on a short list. I just seen a debate on social media. People just talking. Would you take Jose Mourinho? Would he be a potential candidate? But for me, not a chance. Absolutely not. No chance. He's too crazy. I do actually like Mourinho. The fact that even he managed Man United, but FC Porto, back in the day, I thought he was a good manager. But yeah, as people were saying now, kind of the game's moved on without him now. So I would certainly not be having him as the coach of Liverpool, for sure not. But yeah, in terms of news, guys, I'm just going to go through some other bits and pieces, but that's kind of it, really. But we are top of the table at this moment in time. I'm just going to stick the table back up because it looks a little bit better, just so you don't get bored of seeing it. Beautiful. Absolutely. I keep forgetting Aston Villa are 4th, by the way. I don't even look at it because obviously last year we were in that chase for like Champions League spots or Europa League spots at one point, Conference League spots at one point. So yeah, last year I was always monitoring that 4th position, 5th position, but this year I haven't taken any notice of it. To be funny, I didn't even know they were there. I looked at the Premier League table the other day. I couldn't believe how high Man United were. And then I couldn't believe how low Chelsea were. So I thought Chelsea and Manchester United were on like the kind of same page. Every time I see Man United scores, they're always losing or drawing. But somehow they're in like 6th and challenging potentially for a Champions League spot. Then Chelsea are like right down in the bottom half of the table. I didn't really look at the table until I was sorting this screenshot thing out of the table. But yeah, a really interesting season. But I can't believe how high Man U were. I really couldn't believe that. Every time I always see Man U, they're always losing or drawing like they did at the weekend. But let me just fact check that to make sure they're actually where they actually are. Yeah, 6th. Fucking me, how are they 6th? 0 goal difference as well. Just shows that like the rest of them is very buoyant. Chelsea 11th. Yeah, Sheffield United, Burnley, Luton at the bottom. Interesting. But guys, yes, it's pretty much done, to be honest with you guys, in terms of the actual live chat. King Q said, unless anyone's got questions or wants a direct conversation elsewhere, we can do. King Q says, will a 3-4-3 work at Liverpool because this guy does not compromise on his formation? Well, I think a 3-4-3 does work. the thing is with this manager in particular, a lot of people are misconceived, like they have a false reality with regards to him, that he is a pragmatic defensive coach. He's not. He offers defensive stability in his defenders, but plays out from the back as well, and scores a lot of goals. Yes, they do. They're good defensively, but still attractive football on the eye. And, I don't think Liverpool would ever go away from itself and employ defensive manager. I don't think the fans would have it at this moment in time, and he's not. So if you do want to get a bit about him, you want to know about him, guys, we went really hard, as stated. I don't want to gloat, and I'm not gloating, but just go to our pinned chat here. It's our other channel where it's like a Liverpool deep dive channel. Go check it out. We did one. It's on 180,000 views, I think, at this moment in time with regards to everything you need to know of Ruben Amorim. Check it out. And yeah, you'll get a better idea on what he's like, to be honest. If you do check it out. If you're on the fence with him, hopefully that maybe will persuade you in the other way. What's happened to Julian Nagelsmann? Again, he's a guy that's on the shortlist, but it seems as though he's not really been taken seriously that much. And I think, to be fair, as a guy, he's never really been taken that serious in his career. Yes, he got the Bayern job, but he was wrongfully sacked at Bayern. He was doing really, really well with them, and ever since he left, they stunk the place out. And then obviously he's in the Germany job at this moment in time, and I'm hearing rumours that, of course, that he's going to be signing a new contract at Germany. So I would still stick him on the shortlist. I would still interview him. I think, he's been very underappreciated, Julian Nagelsmann. I think he's a good coach, and certainly one that's going to probably have a really good career in the game. As I said, unlawfully sacked from Bayern. Not sure what went on there. But he's not on the run-in at this moment in time. We have to sort our defence out, keep our fullbacks in place, says Isa. Scallywag says we have the players that can adapt to a 3-4-3 with only a new left-footed centre-back like in Asio. So in Asio, it looks like that's what I'm saying. The thing with Ruben as well, you've got to understand our owners as well. They won't want a complete overhaul of the squad, which would never happen. It's not going to happen. I think going into this summer transfer market, we only need one player, and some people would argue with that. Do I think we'll just make one signing this summer? No, but I think we just need one player. I think if you look at the left-footed centre back, as everybody's talking about, I would bring in Anasio. He plays his system. He knows his system very, very well. And the defenders have to be very, very good with the ball at their feet. Ousmane Diomande is another one. He plays on the kind of the right side of that three. And he's a player, again, really, really comfortable at receiving the ball back for his back to play. And then they're both very, very good at progressing the ball up the park, and you have to be good as a centre back with the ball at your feet going forward. And that's where I do think why we won't need to get a right-footed centre back to play that system, because I think Jarell Quansah will be able to play it. I think he's really good with the ball at his feet and progressing play, and he's still young. This is his only first season really playing a lot for Liverpool, because last year was at loan on Bristol Rovers. So I think he'll be fine, but I do think we'll probably only need to sign, as a needs must, to build on a title-winning team, one player to fit that system, and that's a left-footed centre-back in Asio. Would probably be the likely fit just because he's played his system. The good thing for Darwin Núñez is that he'll be able to, I think he'll get the best out of Darwin Núñez in terms of that he's the sort of striker that he likes. There's a lot of similarities there with Gaio Quires, sorry for any pronunciation on that one, that's currently got 50 goal contributions at this moment in time in the Portuguese Premier Liga, but he likes those kind of strikers, and I think he will get the best out of Darwin Núñez going forward. Adam Reynolds says Matip will leave. If we play two back, I think we need to bring in two more centre-backs. Look, I'm happy with bringing in a lot of players over the summer, of course, but I'm just thinking what realistically we do need as a needs must going into the summer transfer window. We'll definitely need a new left-footed centre-back, a new centre-back into it. I would maybe say two as well. I don't think we're going to make any additions to the middle of the park, and then the forward areas I think refine as well. But it could be one of those summers where we identify a player at left back and then maybe buy some youth, maybe potentially. I don't know. But it all depends, of course, if there's any outgoings. Of course, with this Mo Salah saga and stuff like that, I think Mo will be fine. I think he's going to stay, but you know, if he was to leave, then of course we'd have to go and get somebody else. Or if someone was to leave, then we'd have to go in and get somebody else. So transfer windows can be unpredictable, as you know. But at this moment in time, I would say we just need one centre-back going into it. And hopefully we're building on a title-winning team. I don't want to jinx it yet. But after this weekend, it looks really, really good. But yes, Liverpool fans, that's all I've really got for you today, guys. Do let me know your thoughts. Keep getting involved down in the comments. I'll jump down in the comment section. If you are new to this live show, every day from 11 o'clock UK time, we'll be sitting on here for half an hour to an hour, whatever it may be, talking and rounding up all the latest Liverpool news from the last 24 hours. And that's us done today, of course, going over the match against Brighton, going over the other results in the title race, a little bit of an injury update with regards to Trent, a look ahead, of course, and then, of course, the big Ruben Amorim news, of course, coming out of Portugal, that sources close to him say that he will accept the job and is aware of the interest, but wants to focus on the double. And Fabrizio Romano also stating again this morning he is at the top of the pile. Inzaghi, De Zerbi don't look like they're going to be considered or are favourites for the job at this moment in time. But Liverpool fans, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, guys, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.